Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone enjoyed their holidays and is excited for a new year. I have lots of exciting content planned for 2022, so I hope you will stick around. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, but let's get into the marriage of convenience recommendations that I have for you today. So a lot of these are going to be historical romances, as that's the most common subgenre of romance to have this trope, but I do have one contemporary. These are just some of the marriage of conveniences that I love, but would love to recommend. You probably have heard of some, if not all, of these romances, and I would love to know your thoughts down below or your marriage of convenience recommendations. So the first recommendation that I have for you is Worth Any Price. I read this recently and absolutely loved it. It is the third book in the Bow Street Runners series by Lisa Kleypas. Not my favorite series by her, but I would be remiss to say that any of her series are bad. But this is about the heroine who has recently run away. She is betrothed to a man who has controlled her entire life. He is much older, 20 to 30 years older than her, and he has controlled what she's eaten, what she can do, who she can interact with, what she can wear since she was very young, in addition to some other traumatic things that her parents allowed her to be put in, situations they allowed her to be put in. And so the hero, who is a Bow Street runner, is recruited to go get her. And upon seeing her, he is immediately enamored with her. They enter into a marriage of convenience to get her out of the contract with this evil man. Now, I loved their relationship. The hero is previously known as the best in bed in the city and rake, and he was this Robin Hood character who we saw throughout the other books. I absolutely loved this series, but this book in particular. Just watching the hero become absolutely enamored with the heroine was fantastic, and I love that Lisa Kleypas doesn't always do the spitfire heroines. They always have some fire to them, but sometimes they're a little bit more quiet fire, and that's definitely what you have in the heroine here. So the next recommendation that I have for you is The Initiation. I am sure you've heard of this if you are a dark romance fan in any way or follow people that are a dark romance fan. This was making its waves, but this is a marriage of convenience series, and in the first one, the hero is set to marry the heroine's sister, but the sister intentionally gets pregnant so that they break the marriage contract, which leaves the heroine to take over the contract. And in order for the marriage to go through, the engagement to be approved, they have to go through an initiation ceremony at the hero's bank, where he hopes to one day be a CEO, and the whole series is absolutely bonkers. Is it one of the most dark or bonkers series I've ever read? No, but if you are new to dark romance, I think you'll really enjoy this. The first one seems to be the most divisive. If you like the first one, you'll definitely like the rest of the series, but I recommend giving it a try. So next up is When a Scot Ties the Knot. Again, another very popular historical romance author. Tessa is a fantastic author, and this one is about a woman who faked an engagement to live somewhat of a spinster life. When she was a teenager, she claimed that she was married to this general, and when she would write letters to him, and then one day she killed him off, and then she lived the rest of her life as a widow. But it turns out that he actually exists. He's been getting her letters, and now that she lives on this piece of land all by herself, and he is out of the war, he wants that land for himself. And so he shows up and he's like, well, I'm your husband now, and you're gonna give me all your land, or I'm gonna tell everybody that you have been faking it, and that you aren't really who you've been lying this whole time. And so they spark up a deal, and of course love ensues. I love this. I loved the hero. The hero was so protective. When you find out his reasonings for why he's essentially blackmailing the heroine, it just melts your heart. And all of the cast of characters in this one is fantastic. All of his troops and his men from his troop is just beautiful, and their relationship is fantastic. It's very bantery and a lot of aggression and just really good. I love that he had been getting her letters this whole time. So all of the emotional and heartfelt things that she had been writing kind of as a diary to herself, he's been reading, and he just, fantastic. And then the last one is another Tessa Dare, and that is the Duchess Deal. So this is probably her most well-known series, and I loved this book. It has a scarred hero, and in the beginning of this book, the heroine is a seamstress that was employed to make the dress of the hero's fiance, but the fiance ends up backing out. So when the heroine never gets paid, she shows up to the hero's castle and basically says, like, you gotta pay me. Like, I don't care if the marriage was canceled, I want my money. So he says, you know what, no, I will buy the money, I'll buy the dress, and better yet, I'll marry you so that you don't have to work anymore. And so they enter into this marriage of convenience so that the hero has a wife and can get society off his back, and the heroine can, you know, be in a stationed position and can kind of do whatever she wants. I absolutely loved this. The hero is so soft and so sweet, but because of his past, he feels like he's a monster, and he's so afraid to go out into public because his face is scarred, and so he's afraid of what people will think, and beautiful. He's just beautiful. So those are all of the recommendations that I have for you. I am very excited to hear the recommendations that you guys have down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Thanks.
Pull me in, draw me close. I wanna hear your heartbeat.